Hi, my name is Sarah Fuller, and I am a junior school health major from Texas A&M University. I hope to pursue a career in education following graduation, particularly in a high school biology classroom. Today, we will be discussing the needs of urban learners in urban schools. Throughout the presentation, we will go over main points that educators should be aware of in order to create an atmosphere of success for every student in their urban classrooms.
This will be relevant to many of us as future educators. The needs of urban learners may vary from others, and it is our job to ensure that we establish a pathway for success for each and every student in our classroom, despite any variables that may be working against them. The objective of this lesson will be for students to understand the needs of urban learners. Following the presentation, the students will be able to state the correct answer to each of the 5 questions presented at the end of the PowerPoint to show their understanding of the needs of urban learners. It is especially important to be conscious of learning deficits in the early years of school, such as kindergarten and first grade, due to this being the foundation of the framework for the rest of our students' educational careers. Preventing these learning deficits is necessary in order to lay the foundation to the student's education. Concepts that are missed in this crucial time during a student's education may be difficult or nearly impossible to recover later on. Oftentimes, schools will see the same patterns of failure, but they will not make any changes to the curriculum nor the way that it is presented. We must understand that not all students are up to pace when they begin school, so we must focus on bringing them up to speed before moving on. Like previously stated, if we miss an important part of the framework, the entire foundation of learning will be unsteady. With that being said, teachers must be willing to research and accept data collected based on the research of urban learners. Furthermore, they must be willing to adapt their teaching strategies based off of these studies. According to Cartledge's article, Teaching in Urban Schools, 11 Principles Toward Effective Outcomes, too often teachers were willing to reject strategies, even with supporting research data derived from their own students, simply because the strategies did not support their own preconceived notions of classroom teaching. Teachers cannot become complacent in strategies that may be familiar but undeniably ineffective. Education is an ever-changing field, and educators have the responsibility to change right along with it. Now we'll change the pace a little bit and talk about preparedness and confidence of teachers. Lessons tend to go a lot smoother when teachers are prepared for class. When they are confident in their abilities, the information is portrayed more fluently to their students. And when they are confident in their students' abilities, it allows for a better learning environment for all. A lot of times, when students can tell their teachers are confident in their abilities to teach the class, it becomes easier for the students to trust the teacher. Furthermore, when the students can pick up on the teacher's confidence in their abilities to learn the material presented to them, it can build up their own self-confidence. In order to feel confident, teachers must be prepared. This can be influenced by teachers being open to being coached, as well as partake in professional development. This can also come with practicing lessons beforehand and being very familiar with the content of the lesson they will present to the class. Next, we will talk about family involvement. Family involvement is a crucial piece to the puzzle of success of our students. The students must establish a relationship built on trust with the teacher first off. Then, with the teacher establishing open communication with the parents and guardians, there is a more unified front for the student. This open communication is a crucial part of the process. When each party is clear on the expectations of themselves and the other parties, things will run a lot more smoothly. Now, notice that the diagram is not a cycle, but rather a continuous process with all parts adding to the whole sum of success. By getting involved with the family, educators can get a better glimpse into the child's life outside of school, and therefore be able to better understand the needs of that student on a much deeper level. The example that Cartledge gives is that some parents may not even know how to read, and in turn would not be able to teach their student how to read. The gap created by this must be filled in by the schools.
What is the problem as you see it, Mrs. Santos?
How to get the students in on Saturday, sir.
You hear that, people? Mrs. Santos says, how do we get the students in on Saturdays for remedial reading? Well, I'll tell you how. We'll go to their homes. We will talk to their folks. If their folks can't read, they can come in too. The only way we're going to get anything done is to get everyone involved. And that goes for all of you. It's time to get involved.
Lastly, I will cover the expectations that we hold our students to. When educators hold their students to high expectations, classroom instruction will be designed in accordance to this. It will push the students to be successful without the constraints of traditional methods of teaching and learning. Now it is time for our knowledge check. There will be 5 questions presented, and write your answers on a piece of paper. We will go over the correct answer. Question 1. What is one reason prevention of learning deficits is so important? A. Prevention is important because students always have learning deficits. B. Many times what is lost in the foundation of learning is extremely difficult to retrieve later on. C. Students rarely have learning deficits, so prevention is not a priority for educators. Or D. It is not important at all. The correct answer is B. Many times what is lost in the foundation of learning is extremely difficult to retrieve later on. This is why we must catch the deficits early to build a more stable foundation of learning. Question 2. What is an effective way to get the parents involved in their child's academics? A. Make several phone calls a day each school day to send the parents updates. B. Ask the students to verbally communicate to their parents their progress in school. C. Assign take-home projects that require parental help in order to get the students and parents or guardians working together. Or D. Send one lengthy email a month communicating the students' progress. The correct answer is C. Assign take-home projects that require parental help in order to get the students and parents or guardians working together. This promotes open communication with the students and their guardians about what they are learning in their classroom. 3. Identify the best answer choice with reasoning for why it is important for teachers to be adaptable. A. Education is an ever-changing field, so teachers must change along with it. B. Change is always a good thing. C. Change should always come natural, so it is important to change things even when it is not necessary. Or D. None of the above. The correct answer is A. Education is an ever-changing field, so teachers must change along with it. It is our responsibility to stay up with the speed to the latest developments in education. Question 4. How can teachers be more prepared for teaching their class? A. Attend professional development trainings. B. Be open to being coached. C. Practice all of their lessons before class. Or D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. All of the above. Teachers must attend professional development opportunities, be open to being coached, and practice their lessons before class in order to be prepared. Question 5. Which of the following would promote success in a classroom? A. No contact with the parents unless they reach out to you. B. Having high expectations for your students. C. Never feeling like you need to adapt your teaching strategies to a new class. Or D. Assigning copious amounts of homework each night to make sure your students practice problems related to the lesson. The correct answer is B. Having high expectations for your students. This will promote the success of our students. I just want to thank you so much for following along today. Hopefully you gained something from this presentation that you will be able to implement in your future classrooms.